All right, guys. So the one that now to me, besides Boston and Brooklyn, the one that is really, really compelling to me is this 1-8 matchup without Devin Booker. I could see the Pelicans winning this series if Devin Booker does not come back healthy. I'm just being honest. I mean, the way that Brandon Ingram is playing and the way that CJ McCollum's playing, I don't see any reason why the Pelicans don't have a shot at beating the Suns, especially without D-Book. And we don't know what D-Book's going to be like when he comes back, you know? So, I mean, the Pelicans were playing with the Suns without or with D-Book in the lineup. And then when D-Book got hurt, they were just able to win, you know? So, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pelicans won if D-Book doesn't return and play like D-Book can. So, what do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting series since D-Book is set to miss, what is it, at least 2 games? Or at
3
least
and
one?
4. 3 and 4 is what they're saying right now.
So at least 2. I think that's very interesting because D-Book does a little more than I think some people realize. Granted, he had, what, like 30, 31?
31. He had 31 and through
3.
Through 3. Well, he had 31 at half, and then he
Yes.
didn't score any during the second half.
Well, he also got hurt in that third quarter.
Yeah.
But the game was neck to neck until he got hurt, and then the Pelicans started taking that small lead, and then they ended up winning. But I don't see how the Pelicans can lose both these games. I think they're going to at least split without D-Book. Because like you're saying, B.I. and McCollum are good. And the main guy, in my opinion, who is keeping them alive, Valanciunas.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is eating
Yeah.
the boards up. I don't know where Ayton is or what he's doing. Maybe he's not on the floor at the time or whatnot, but Valanciunas alone had 13 offensive rebounds in game 1. He had 25 overall boards. Where's Ayton? Where's Crowder? Remember Crowder's stat line we were making fun of? He had 1 board, 1 block, 1 assist, 1 point. 28 minutes of defense, though. I mean, I will give him that. He's definitely out there guarding B.I. B.I. shot bad first game. CJ did too. I mean, I'm sure he's out there 28 minutes of defense. But where are the rest of these guys on the Suns to grab these boards? Valanciunas is eating. I love watching him play. I think he's good. But if the Suns want to win these and make sure that D-Book comes back and then they wrap up the series, I think we got to see a little more from those guys like Jay Crowder and Ayton that are going to have to step up and help Chris Paul. I mean, granted, Chris Paul has not shot necessarily well either, especially last game, but he's still getting his, 10 to 12 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what Chris Paul does. So it'll be interesting. I think if D-Book doesn't play, I think they at least split 1-1. I think it's going to be good. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. What do you think?
This series has been kind of funny, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like the Pelicans, game 1, shot terribly, and it was an 11-point game. And he took a CP3, 4-quarter miracle to, get this game, to the double-digit lead, right? Then game 2, D-Book gets hurt, and the Suns. The 1-8 matchup typically wouldn't, be this. Which makes me wonder, what would happen if this was the Clippers with Paul George?
And Kawhi.
It's like this is what was that? Because we all let's be we thought this was about to be a Suns 4-0 takeover. Because it's weird to me that they did this on the Suns' home ground. They split with the Suns. Because D-Book hurt or not, the Philly Suns thing is they can play next man up. Pretty and look at me. I know D-Book is a fucking house. Okay, I'm aware. I know. Okay, I know.
Henry. Remember, we had to go PG-13.
I know D-Book. I know.
No, PG, my fault. It wasn't PG-13.
I know D-Book is really good. Okay, I'm very aware of this. It's just you feel like the Suns should have this regardless of D-Book being there or not.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're good enough defensively to stop the Pelicans from having their way there. But like it seemed like they couldn't do that. And props to Brandon Ingram because he played amazing. And to be honest, hey, if the Pelicans want to go ahead and win the series, props to them. Go ahead, boys.
Yeah.
Take the Suns out.
Yeah. No, I think this has been such a compelling playoffs, though. But, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely think that with D-Book out, it is going to get interesting for the Suns, especially if Jay Crowder's only going to score 4 points a game. That's definitely not going to help anything. And, it's also interesting to think, like, what would this series look like if, whenever they pan to the bench and the guy that ate Zion is sitting there, like if he was playing, like what would this series look like? You know what I'm saying? Because he seems like he's ready to play and can play with those videos he's been posting. But I mean, dude sure looked like he needs to lose some weight.
They clearly do not like each other. That's one thing that I have noticed. The Pelicans and Zion do not like each other because Zion Williamson is posting these videos saying, "Hey, I want to play," and the Pelicans are like, "No, you're not playing." Is what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah, it's what I'm getting out of it. That's the only thing that makes sense.
You know what, Zion? How about you drop about 50 pounds? That way you don't mess yourself up. Right. I mean, they're saving your career if we're being honest. But
because he can keep posting videos all day, but if he tried to play a full season at that weight, there's no chance.
The dude goes for a dunk and then comes down like he's like limping.
Because he has to.
He looked weird when he got done dunking.
But side note, the fact that a guy that big can jump that high, I mean, that's impressive as heck. But I do think that, people like Jay Crowder are definitely going to have to step up in D-Book's absence. Because, again, 5 points in Game 2 and 1 point in Game 1, that ain't cutting it as a starter.
Yeah.
But I'm with Ben. I definitely think the Suns need to steal one in New Orleans, or it'll go Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all just depends, in my opinion, if Devin Booker comes back okay. I think either way, even if it's 3-1, I think the Suns would win the series even if Devin Booker comes back. I think they'd win 3 straight, and I think they'd close it out because honestly, I think if Devin Booker stays healthy, I don't necessarily think that they would have lost that game. Just my opinion. Could be wrong, but I don't see a Devin Booker led Suns team getting beat by the Pelicans. So
I think for my selfish reasons, the best thing that can happen for me right now is that the Pelicans win both games at home and rush Devin Booker back. Because if they rush Devin Booker back and he's forced to play like big minutes because they're down 3-1, prime season, baby. I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah, your Warriors would be in a good spot if the Pelicans were to beat them.
Yeah.
So.
I think Dallas would love that too, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Dallas would love that. Well, I mean that's if
anybody would love that.
Yeah.
Someone was in the playoffs is out.
Yeah. I mean
Pelicans or Suns. Pelicans every day.
I mean,
that's like I just saw where the Suns, that game they won, Game 1 where they won by 11, they were out-rebounded by 20.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they were
out-rebounded last game
Chris
by
Paul
10.
had to go off in the fourth quarter for them to win the game by that margin because it was close.
So they've been out-rebounded by 30 in 2 games.
good grief. Where's Ayton been?
That's what I'm saying.
Where is Ayton been?
Valanciunas is locking those boards down.
This guy's wanting like big money.
You forget everyone else always forget that he was the number 1 pick in his draft.
Yes.
I forget sometimes. I'm like Ayton. I'm like, where was Ayton picked? I was like, Ayton, wasn't he a number 1 pick in the draft?
Because when you think of the Suns, you think of Chris Paul and D-Book.
Yeah, there were moments in the playoffs though last year where Ayton really, really shined. I will say that, but I haven't heard really a whole lot about him this year. Like nothing has really stuck out about his play being just really, really good in my opinion. But